Now with the front of this car done, and basically exactly how I envisioned it in my mind, still little things left to do, like I still haven't clarified the threaded rod or anything like that yet, but the bumper is done. What we're going to do is we're going to switch to the back of this car, and as you guys can see, we still have a lot of junk in this trunk. We're going to remove the windows, the speakers, the seatbelt holders, basically everything in the back. We'll start it up and push it closer to the stove. That way I have a little bit more room in the back of the car. Let's get going! With all the glass out, the next step is basically the trunk. Now I still got quite a bit of junk back here. I did take out 2 bags of garbage basically of the trunk, but we still have lots of little stuff, lots of little markers and nails and doohickeys and doodads and stuff like that. Now, let me read you the rules on the trunk. They're pretty basic to the point where there's not a whole lot I can do back here. Let me just pull them up on my phone. For all you guys that always want pictures and rules at your fingertips, what I always do is I screenshot the rules, and that way I have them on my phone because I don't always get good service back here. Okay, so here's the rules for the trunk. Rule number 15, trunks and tailgates. Trunks / tailgates may be fastened down in the same way as the hood in 6 places. So I'm going to have to read the hood rules again. The trunk lid or tailgate must remain in stock position. So that means no tucking the trunk, no dishing the trunk, no nothing. It's basically got to stay like this, which really limits on what I can do back here. 12-inch square hole, so we got to cut a fair-sized hole in this trunk. We'll try to leave most of the supports. How I'm going to try to bend it is actually to bring the sheet metal maybe underneath and help hold on to the trunk inner guts, like the inner supports. The trunk lid may be wired, strapped, or chained in 4 places to the rear bumper. These 4 will count as 4 of your 6. So I'm allowed to go from here to here. That will leave me 4 spots to tie the trunk closed to the actual fender well or the speaker deck, depending on how I want to do it, and 2 from the trunk to the actual rear bumper. You may weld 6 3x3-inch plates, 1/8-inch thick steel patches to secure the trunk lid. So I can weld this trunk lid, but they have to be 3x3, so there's no way I can make it from here to there. And I'm not allowed to crease it in any way. I'm not allowed to pre-bend it in any way. So this is what I'm kind of thinking. I think I'm going to put one there, and I'm not sure if I want to put one here or if I want to put one here. You know what, after a little bit of thinking, I don't think I'm going to put one there. I think I'm going to put one there, one here, and then I will use seat belts to go from the trunk lid to the bumper in an effort to help hold that trunk lid as tight down as possible. Now, I'm not allowed to dish this in any way or pre-bend it. I am allowed to notch the frame, but not pre-bend the frame. So this is a little bit different. A lot of you guys may know I like to kind of get rid of these pieces down here behind the rear tires, and I like to kind of hit across here to try to get this frame to bend up just a bit. But because of those rules, it's a little bit different than what I'm used to. So we're just going to basically have to do this just differently, I guess. The rules are a little bit different than what I am used to, because this show is not really a show around me. But I guess you have to adapt to other people's rules and play. Now this will be my first time going to the event. If I get there and I see other people have dish trunks and big notches and pre-bend spots on the side, you know I'm going to quickly pull out the sledgehammer and follow suit. But as of right now, the only thing I have telling me about this demolition derby is my actual rules that I have on my phone. So, you guys have seen me do it plenty of times before. We're going to pull out a hammer and we're going to dimple the frame. And by dimpling the frame, it helps it come up in the spot I want it to do, which is 12 inches back from the bumper meeting the rear sill. So by doing that dimple, it will help me bring it up, and then I'm going to grind the paint off and start welding my plates. Now all my plates are actually 4 inches by 4 inches, so we'll have to make new plates because other people's rules for tie downs are 4 inches by 4 inches. Back on the ground, what we're going to do now is we have to cut our hole in the trunk lid because I am securing this trunk lid before we go there. Back when I was first getting the demolition derbies, I'd leave the trunk open until I got there so they could inspect, but nowadays I don't do that. I'd rather have it all done before I go there. So what I've decided is one here, two, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we will have nothing attaching this to the bumper because I'm pretty sure that that bumper will come up on its own size of dimples that we did yesterday. But, yeah, everything's going pretty good. So let's get this cut here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the main support right here. And then I'm going to cut out the triangles. Or should I just cut out the triangles? What we're going to do is just cut out the one main support, cut out the whole section of triangle, and then just fold it down so that way it's still steel in there, I guess. But we'll remove the center section and then fold this down. Know me by now. I always say I'm going to weld everything. This time I even cut the plates to weld it. And then I started looking at it and I said, nah, let's seatbelt this thing. It's so much easier, and I hate welding the cars. The only thing that I like welding the cars is usually cages and bumpers, and these days I don't even weld most of my cages in. They're mostly just bolted. So I don't like welding on these cars, mostly because I always burn holes and it just gives me more and more headaches. But she's done. Trunk is seat belted. So that's it for this episode. The back of this car is pretty much done. I'm going to go look at the rules tonight and see if I'm allowed a back window bar, because this is one big opening. Even if it's not allowed to go past onto the trunk lid and it has to stay on the speaker deck, you're talking almost a 24-inch, maybe 30-inch back window bar. So we'll see what the rules allow, but if I'm allowed one, I'm probably going to put one in this car just because of how much it will actually help. But thanks for watching today's episode, and remember guys, if you have any photos or videos that you would like to share, because you're not allowed to share videos and photos on YouTube, feel free to join Zacks Workshop on Facebook. I'll put a link in the description below. Just click on it, ask to join, and feel free to post any videos or photos of your cars or anything you're working on. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Take care.